Welcome back. Now we've previously seen that functions can take inputs. In this video, we're going to learn how functions can actually return output in the form of return values. We're going to use Raylib's window should close function, which will allow us to close our window properly rather than having to end our program using stop debugging. To do so, we must understand the concept of function return values. Now, we know functions can take inputs, but some functions can also return output. These functions perform their tasks just like any other, but the difference is that they actually produce return values. So when a function produces output, that return value can be used to initialize a variable, either by use of the assignment operator or braced initialization. We can also pass function return values into other functions. We simply call the function inside another function's parentheses. Here we're passing the return value from getTheAnswer into the function useAnswer. GetTheAnswer returns an int, so this only works if useAnswer takes an int as its input parameter. Raylib has a function called windowShouldClose. It returns a Boolean. Window should close returns true if we've hit the X icon at the top right of the window. It also returns true if we've hit the escape key. It returns false if neither of these has happened. So most of the time, window should close should return false because we usually don't press the X or the escape key. It's only when we want to close the window that we press these things. So until that happens, window should close will always return a value of false. But we've got a while loop that will keep our window open as long as the loop condition evaluates to true. So I want you to think for a second, how can we use the function window should close in our loop condition? Remember, window should close returns true if we've hit the X or the escape key. In other words, it's true if we should stop showing the window. It's false when we should keep the window open. So here's the challenge. For the loop condition of our while loop, figure out how we're going to use the function window should close. We want to close the window when we've hit the X or the escape key. Window should close returns true if those have happened. If we haven't hit X or the escape, we want to keep the window open. Now here's a hint. Your solution will involve the use of one of the comparison operators, either the not equal to or equal to. And here's another hint. You'll also be using the true or the false keyword. Now give this a try and don't be discouraged if you can't figure this out. This is one of the harder challenges you've faced, so just pause the video and give this a try and we'll come back and do this together. Go ahead. Okay, so here is our while loop. I'm going to get rid of this true keyword. We need to use window should close. So if I just type window should close with our parentheses, then this will call window should close. But remember, window should close will return false here unless I've hit the X or the escape key. But we want to keep our window open if window should close returns false, which is what it's usually going to return. Well, if we use the equal to operator and check to see if window should close returns false, then this Boolean expression, window should close is equal to false, should return true if window should close equals false, until we've hit the X or the escape key, in which case window should close will return true, and then this expression, window should close is equal to false, will be false. In that case, we'll break out of the while loop and our program will terminate. Now let's go to run and start debugging and see how this works. Okay, here's our window, and I haven't hit the X or the escape key yet, so window should close will be returning false, which means this expression will be true. That's why the window stays open. Now watch what happens when I hit the X icon. The window closes because window should close suddenly started returning true, And true is equal to false is a false statement, which means the while loop's loop condition evaluates to false, meaning we break out of the loop, we reach the end of the main function, and the program terminates. Now, you may have decided to use the not equal to operator, in which case you would have had to use the true keyword. This expression says window should close is not equal to true. Now, again, most of the time, window should close will be returning false. So let's go to run and start debugging. Now, when the window pops up, we haven't hit the X icon or the escape key yet, so window should close is returning false, and false is not equal to true is a true expression, so the while loop continues to run. Now, I'm going to hit the escape key, and now the window is closed because window should close returned true, and true is not equal to true is a false expression, which means the while loop condition evaluated to false, we broke out of the loop, and we ended our program. Okay, in summary, we have learned that functions can have return values. And we saw that we could use window should close in our while loop's loop condition to close our window properly. So now we don't have to force our program to terminate using stop debugging. We can simply click on the X icon or hit the escape key to close our window. Give yourself a pat on the back because we've covered a lot of ground here, and our window is starting to behave like a real program should. We're doing some serious work and you've already come a long way. We'll see you in the next video.